We'll begin our session 5 with trend lines. I think we did touch base on trend lines last session. Um, so basically, trend lines are just recognizable lines connecting two points on the charts, um, pretty much a series of prices together for any security. And it also gives technical analysis the trend in which an investment is moving. Um, Like with a couple of trend lines, you can create a channel, like as we did with the Fibonacci channels. You can just create a regular channel with just a couple of trend lines as well. And most of the technical traders, and they believe the trend line is our best friend. So understanding this concept is pretty important. Um, let's take a look. What kind of trading it. Um, all right, so this is S&P mini features, right? Um, let's go to the day chart. Turn off my house moving average. Pretty much as we discussed last time. If I just draw a line from the lows to the low here, is basically giving me a downtrend for this index. In a similar fashion, if I draw a trend line to give me an idea of where this price is heading. Since the trend has changed here, you can draw like multiple trend lines. It's basically giving an analyst an idea. So again, just to kind of recap for the folks who just joined, we started with trend lines. And these are just lines that are drawn on charts, joining a series of prices together. A couple of trend lines, you can form a channel, and this is understanding this concept is pretty important. Why? I will show it to you in a second. So basically, if you just draw a line connecting a series of prices, the lows or the highs, it gives us a pretty good understanding where the security is heading, or what's its trend, And also, the trend lines could be drawn to give an idea of support and resistance, which we covered in the last session, right? It can also give us a pretty good understanding of what the support would be and resistance. So that's just point in time. If you want to understand the historical support, this could be the one. Looking at the historical highs, the, the resistance. It's basically a line joining a series of prices for any security or index. So if we just draw two lines, it pretty much forms a channel. So why this trend line is important? The triangle, it's a continuation pattern on any chart. And pretty much when you draw two lines following few prices on the chart, a series of prices on the chart, it forms a triangle-like shape. That's why these are called triangles. And why is it important is, um, that there are three types of triangle. One is an ascending triangle. This is more of a bullish trend. And this descending triangle is a bearish trend. Symmetrical triangle can go either way. It can break out, that's a bullish trend, or it can break down, that's a bearish trend. So again, triangles is a continuation pattern. It forms a triangle-like shape. That's why these are called as triangles. And trend lines are used for drawing triangles along a converging price range. Like this is a converging price range. It's a converging price range. Converging price range here. And it's similar to wedges and pennants actually. Um, if time permits, we'll see if we can touch base on that in this session or maybe in the next follow-up sessions. So the three types of triangles are ascending. Again, this is a bullish pattern. We'll see it in a minute on a chart, how this is formed and how to identify an ascending triangle. Similarly, a descending triangle is a bearish pattern. Symmetrical triangle can go either way. All right, so let's look at ascending triangle. All right. So Investopedia has this definition for ascending triangle. It's an ascending triangle is a breakout pattern that forms when the price breaches the upper horizontal trend line. It's a rising volume. Upper horizontal line with rising volume. Right? You see this? So this upper horizontal line is forming a kind of like a resistance here. It's a bullish formation, as I said. The trend line must be horizontal, the upper trend line, indicating nearly adjacent highs. Like adjacent highs doesn't have to be exact in terms of its value, but similar. So nearly indicating identical highs, which forms a resistance level, as I just mentioned. The lower trend line is this. Is actually indicating higher lows, like higher lows means it's still low as compared to this, but it's higher than the previous one. So these are called higher lows. These are like lower lows, lower highs. So the lower trend line is rising diagonally, indicating higher lows as buyers patiently step up their bids. Eventually, the buyers are kind of, jump in around the resistance level, which triggers more volume, which is more buying. Um, and that's how it becomes an uptrend. The uptrend basically resumes. The upward trend line, which was formerly a resistance level, now becomes a support. We did cover in the last sessions what say resistance and support, right? So this basically was acting like a resistance, but now since this breaks out, once it breaks out, as we know, this becomes the next support, and the other trend line above that becomes the new resistance. Let's take a look at kind of before the start of the session, I was looking at this. So um, I'm here in August 14, 2020, right? I'm in an hourly chart. So this is a candlestick chart. So if you look closely for an ascending triangle, you have like similar highs, right? And lower trend line is rising diagonally, indicating higher lows. Right? It's diagonally indicating higher lows, right? So if you go to the line chart, you can see, right? So this is ascending pattern, it's a bullish pattern, right? So right where it converges just before that, that's when it breaks out this resistance level and moves up. Once it does that, this new resistance becomes the new support, right? Isn't it? So it's a continuation pattern. The horizontal line kind of connects the similar highs, and the diagonal line kind of connect the higher lows up to a point where it converges and forms like a triangle shape. So this is a ascending triangle. It's a bullish pattern. This pretty much shows how the price kind of breaks out this resistance. It eventually becomes the new support for this. Questions on that? Yeah. So that was ascending triangle, this one.